Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Lunch and Learn session with Alloy. Today we are up to episode 8 of these sessions. My name is Scott Young, and I am the manager of products and services here at Alloy Computer Products. And today we will run through Yealink's Android video bars for Microsoft Teams and Zoom Rooms. So today we will be covering the key features of Yealink's A20 and A30 Android video bars. We'll run through some of the feature differentiations between the Android and the Windows MTR solutions for Microsoft, the differentiation between the Android and Windows features for Zoom Rooms. We'll take a look at some of the advantages of Android solutions. We'll look at the BYOD features of the Android video bars, and then we'll finish up with a quick Q&A session. All right, so looking at Yealink's video bars. So we have two different options available. We have the A20 video bar and we have the A30 video bar. So the A20 video bar is built for small rooms for around 2 to 6 users, and the A30 is built for medium-sized rooms from around about 7 to 12 users. Now, looking at some of the key features of the A20 video bar. So the camera is a 20 megapixel camera, has a wide field of view up to 133 degrees, has 8 times digital zoom, intelligent AI features, and it also has a built-in electric privacy shutter. The A30, built for medium-sized room, has a dual camera design, has dual 8 megapixel cameras, has a field of view of 120 degrees for the main camera and a 90-degree field of view for the secondary camera. Both cameras do have the electric privacy shutter built into it as well. And together, the main camera has the potential for up to 10 times zoom. That's including a 3.5 times optical zoom and a 3 times digital zoom. And then the secondary camera, which has the 120 degree field of view, has a 4 times digital zoom. Now, looking at some of the AI features that are built in to Yealink's video bars, we have auto framing, we have speaker tracking support, we have picture-in-picture support in regards to the A30, and we also have support for multi-focus framing. And this is a new feature as well as picture-in-picture. These are both new features that are coming out very soon on the A30 camera. Now, looking at the multi-focus framing in a little bit more detail, as we can see from the image there, it's kind of like the smart gallery that we see on some of the Zoom software, where what it's actually doing is it's taking the people's faces from a meeting room and applying them into the meeting so that it has a similar view to your remote participants as well. So it gives them an enlarged view of the face of the person, so it's a similar size to all the remote participants in the meeting. Okay, looking at some of the auto framing and speaker tracking features of the A20 and A30. So in regards to auto framing, as we can see from the little video clip that's running there, so what auto framing is going to do is actually, it's going to automatically zoom in and zoom out to fit the people into the middle of the frame. So if one person is sitting at a desk, the camera will automatically zoom into that one person and fit them into the middle of the frame. If we have 1 or 2 people join that table, the camera will automatically zoom out to fit all 3 people into the video or center of the video frame. Then the difference between speaker tracking is that what speaker tracking is going to do is it's actually going to zoom in to that person who is actually speaking. So rather than auto framing, where it's going to fit every person in the room into the middle of the frame. Speaker tracking is going to zoom in on that individual who's actually talking. Then we have picture-in-picture mode. So this is for the A30 only because it does have that dual camera support. So what we can do with picture-in-picture mode is we can enable speaker tracking so that one camera will be used for speaker tracking. So it will zoom in on the person that's speaking, whereas the secondary camera can use auto framing so that it fits the rest of the people in that meeting room into the frame as well. Then what we also have is that multi-focus framing mode, which is going to center or enlarge the users that are in that meeting room, as you can see from the video there. So rather than having the 4 people sitting around the table, it's going to split up each individual person into its own video frame and center them and make them the same size as the remote participants. All right, now in regards to the A20 and A30 as well, both solutions have 8 built-in microphones, up to 6-meter voice pickup, full duplex audio, and also built-in echo cancellation. So these rooms with that 6-meter voice pickup really are built for that small to medium size environment. Okay, another one of Yealink's AI-based features in these systems is their noise-proof technology. So what that's going to do is actually cancel out any unwanted noise. So if somebody's in the room and they're clicking a mouse or typing on their keyboard, Yealink's AI-based technology is going to cancel out that unwanted noise and only allow the noise that you want in that meeting, being the people that are actually speaking. Okay, so the A20 and A30 has now brought kind of the Windows and the Android solutions a step closer. So we've now got, with the Android-based solutions, we've now got whiteboard collaboration. We've now got dual screen support. We've now also got the human motion sensor. So that's going to allow the TVs to automatically wake up when somebody walks into the room. We've got that control panel on the table. So very similar to the Windows solution, but the control panel on the table to control the meeting. And we've also now got content sharing as well, which is missing from some of the earlier Android video bar solutions. And Yealink supports both wireless and cabled content sharing with their devices. What we can also do with the A20 and A30 solutions is we can add on additional microphones. So if the room size that you're using these devices in is kind of getting to that kind of larger size where that 6-meter audio pickup isn't quite enough, or when you're just finding that the audio pickup isn't working as you need it to, we can add additional microphones to it as well. So both the A20 and the A30 will support all types of microphones from Yealink. So we've got the CPW90 wireless deck mics that we can automatically connect to the A20 and A30 by using the deck dongle that's included in the CP90 package. Now, with these Android-based solutions, you are limited to 1 kit only per video bar. So 1 kit includes 2 microphones. You can also, you can also use the BCM34 tabletop microphones. Again, limitation is different to the Windows-based solutions. So you are only limited to 2 tabletop mics with the A20 and 3 tabletop mics with the A30. You can also utilize the BCM38 ceiling mics. Again, limitation of 2 and 3 respectively for the A20 and the A30. And then we also have the Yealink BCM36 Wi-Fi mics that will be coming early next year as well, which will also be supported by the A20 and A30 packages. Now, one thing that I'd like to mention here is you can only use one of these mic types at one time. So we can't mix and match the wireless deck mics with the tabletop mics. So very similar to the Windows solutions from Yealink, It's one or the other. You're either going to use the wireless mics or you're going to use the tabletop mics. Now, once you do add a external mic to the A20 or the A30, you are going to lose the built-in mic function on that video bar. So it will only now use the external mics that you have connected to that device. Okay, so in terms of the packages that are available with the A20 and the A30, there are quite a few different options. So we've got options for Teams, we've got options for Zoom. Both the A20 and the A30 also come with the sharing box included, so the VCH51 sharing box, which is the 021 edition. And then we've also got Zoom editions that include the touch panel and the Teams edition that include the touch panel, but we also have Teams editions that just come with the remote control themselves. So if you don't need that touch panel sitting on the tabletop, you can just use a remote control that comes with the A20 or the A30. But that's Teams only. The Zoom option requires you to have that CTP18 touch panel. Okay, so the differences between the Windows and the Android solutions for both Zoom and for Microsoft have come a lot closer over the last 12 months. You know, back in the early iterations of the Android solutions, both for Teams and for Microsoft, there was huge limitations and big differences between the Windows and the Android version. So, for instance, the Android version used to only support 720p. It only used to support a single screen. It couldn't or it didn't support content sharing. So there was major reasons why a lot of companies couldn't go with the Android solutions. They had to head or move forward with the Windows solutions just to get some of that basic kind of meeting support. Now that's come a long way, as I said, over the last 12 months. All of those features that I just mentioned there are now built into the Android solutions well. So there's only a small subset of features now that the Android solution can't do, but the Windows solution can. Now, I've highlighted a few of them here. One of the major features that I see that's missing at the moment from the Android bars in regards to the Windows solutions is that direct guest join, meaning that the Windows-based MTR solutions, they can still direct guest join to a Zoom or a Cisco WebEx meeting. At the moment, that is missing from the Android-based solutions. So once that kind of gets included into the Android solutions, I think we'll see that, for those small to medium-sized rooms, that a lot more people will start going with the Android-based solutions. And that direct guest join feature is coming soon. Now, there's a couple other features there. I won't run through them all at the moment. As I said, those kind of differentiators between the Android and the Windows has shrunk significantly over the last 12 months. So most of those features that majority of people are going to use are now there in those Android bars. Now, for a full comparison of those different features between Android and Windows, there is a link there if you do want to take a look at that. And all this data was from September 2021. Moving on to the Zoom solutions. Now, the Zoom solutions are a little bit different. So a lot of those features between Android and Windows are already there in Android. There's not a lot of differences. I kind of picked up a few key features here that are missing from the Android solutions at the moment. One thing being that on a Windows solution, you can just install the Zoom Room application on any Windows box you want. You can just install a PC, download the Zoom Room app, and set up a Zoom Room solution. Whereas with the Android solution, obviously that's not supported because the Android solutions already come pre-installed with that Zoom Room application. And I suppose AirPlay sharing is another key feature there that's missing at the moment from the Android devices. And another key feature there, I think, is also the 3-screen support. So with the Windows solutions now, as long as the hardware that you're using supports it, now supports up to 3 screens, whereas the Android solutions only support two screens. And again, a link there for a full comparison between the Windows and the Android solutions. All right, looking at some of the advantages of an Android-based video bar up against the Windows-based solutions. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Windows-based solutions, there's quite a lot of components that come included in the kit. You've got your PC, your dedicated PC that comes with the kit that's running Windows 10. You've got your camera, you've got your mics, you've got your speakers, and you've got to be able to wire all these individual components together. Whereas with the Android video bars, it's an all-in-one design. The camera, the mics, the speakers, they're all built into it. It's a simple and quick and easy installation into a meeting room. As long as that meeting room is sufficient size for an A20 or an A30, it just becomes a simple installation. There's no need to go out and hire professionals to do custom installs for this equipment. It's a lot simpler to install, and you can do it yourself, or the customer could even do it themselves. In terms of the cable club, there's no cables. It's basically a 2-cable install. So it's a power cable into the A20 or the A30. It's a HDMI cable from the A20 or A30 to the TV. It's a Cat5 cable into your network, but you don't even need to use the Cat5 cable. The A20 and the A30 have built-in Wi-Fi. So you could get away with a single 2-cable installation. Now, the way that the controller also connects to the system is a bit different to Windows as well. So with the Windows solutions, that touch panel has to connect directly to the Windows box. Whereas with the Android-based solutions, the touch panel just connects to your network, the same as what the A20 or the A30 collab bar does. And those two devices pair together. So the controller pairs to the unit. So that controller can be, at the end of the room, and there's no need to try and wire a cable between those two devices. They both just need to be connected to the same network. They'll pair together. So it makes it a lot easier to install this kit. Another great solution for the Android bars is trolleys. You're trying to install a Windows kit on a trolley. You've got cables running everywhere. You've got the PC you need to actually mount somewhere on the trolley. You've got cameras that you need to mount. You've got a speaker that you need to mount. You need to run mics to the table if need be, depending on the kit that you're buying, or if you're using wireless mics. But with these A20 and A30 all-in-one kits, it's a simple install. You mount the camera on the unit on the trolley. Like I said before, 2 cables, HDMI and power to the unit. It can connect to the network via Wi-Fi, or if you do want to plug it in via Ethernet, that's an additional cable. But it's quick and easy install for portable meeting rooms. Install it on a trolley and wheel it around your office and use these devices wherever you want. Simple, quick, and easy installation. All right, so here's a couple of scenarios of where you might use these collab bars. So again, we've got our meeting rooms. We've got our small to medium meeting rooms. We can even expand that a little bit with those external microphones. So if depending on the size of the room, the shape of the room, if it's quite a wide room, you've got the camera that's built into these units has a wide field of view, either 120 degrees or 133 degrees, depending on the unit that you're using. Very easy to install in small to medium meeting rooms. Home office. The cost of these units compared to the Windows-based solution is significantly lower, but the feature set is there. Why wouldn't you use one of these devices, especially in an exec's home office, in their office, in the actual building as well? You can use these devices basically anywhere because they are cost effective. Other scenarios there, we've got education, we've got healthcare. There's plenty of different scenarios for using these devices. All right. In addition to Teams and also Zoom-based solutions for this kit, we can also enable BYOD mode on these devices. So by enabling BYOD mode, what this is allowing us to do is it's allowing us to bring in a computer into our meeting room and then run whatever piece of software we want on our PC, but utilize the camera, the mic, the speaker of the A20 or the A30 in that meeting room. So by adding the VCH51 to our A20, our A30, we're now able to enable what we call BYOD mode. So it's a single Ethernet connection from the A20 or A30 to the VCH51 that you would sit at your meeting room table. The user then only needs to connect a single USB-C cable to their PC, depending on the PC that they've got. If their PC does not support USB-C, they can also run a USB-A connection and also a HDMI connection to that PC to share video, but also gain access to the mic, the speaker, and the camera of that unit. So we can have a user walk in, they plug in either one or two cables into the meeting room, run whatever piece of software they want. It might be Zoom, it might be Cisco WebEx, Google Meet, it might be 3CX. It could be any VC client that they have running on their PC. They will then select the Yealink Room system as their audio device in that software, and that will then allow them to use the camera, mic, and speaker of these video bars. Very powerful and very easy to use. So to enable that BYOD mode, what we need to do is we need to use that VCH51. So the VCH51, as we can see there on that slide, it's got a HDMI port for video. So if your PC doesn't support USB-C with video pass-through, you will need to use that HDMI port. If your PC does support video pass-through on their USB-C port, then we can just connect a single USB-C port for video and audio. Or if you don't have a USB-C port, then you would connect that HDMI and the USB-A device to your PC, and then that one Ethernet connection back to the A20 or the A30. That's really simple, really easy to use. All right, guys, we've just about covered everything. Now, one thing that we're going to do today is something a bit different than what we haven't done so far in these lunch and learn sessions, is we're going to give something away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually ask you guys a question. Now, the first person to get the answer correct in the chat panel will win an A20 video bar. It's quite a good prize. So what I'm going to do on the next slide will be the question. The first person to add the answer into the chat panel will win the A20. All right, guys, is everybody ready? 3, 2, 1. Question is, what Android video bar would you use for a medium-sized room? All right, guys, keep them coming, keep them coming. All right, first person to get it right was Bill. Bill Harvey, congratulations. You have won yourself an A20, either in Zoom or in Teams. So what we'll do, we'll get in touch with you, Bill, after the webinar today, and we'll get your details and send out your A20 video bar. Congratulations. All right, guys, to finish up, we'll do a quick Q&A. If anybody has any questions at all in regards to the video bars, any questions in regards to differences between Windows bars, when you would use an Android bar over a window bar, please feel free chuck your questions into the chat panel and I will answer your questions for you as quickly as I can. Okay, so quick question here was, how does it compare to the UVC? So the UVC 40, I'm assuming you're talking about, is the UVC 40 itself is purely a USB camera, whereas the A20, which is the equivalent to the UVC 40, has a built-in operating system. So it runs Android, so it's either going to have a built-in Zoom operating system or a built-in Teams operating system. So you don't need to connect a PC to run a Zoom or a Teams meeting, depending on the option that you've purchased. Whereas a UVC 40 itself, it plugs into a PC and is a USB connected all-in-one camera, mic, and speaker. Bill, yes, all the recording will be available on our website. But if you do want a copy of the presentation itself, we can do that as well. Just contact your account manager or contact me, Scott.Young I'll just run in the chat for you. Contact me after the meeting and I can send you through a copy of the presentation if you like as well. But once again, recording will be available on our website later this afternoon as well. We go over a couple more minutes before 1 o'clock. If we do have any questions. Okay, guys, if we don't have any more questions, we'll finish up there. Thank you very much for attending another Lunch and Learn session. As you're probably all aware, there's a few more to go until the end of the year. So we've got about 3 more Lunch and Learn sessions for 2021. But we will be back in 2022 with plenty of more sessions and different topics to cover off. Once again, if you do have any topics that you do want to talk about, please let us know. So what I'll do, I'll quickly just unshare my screen so you can see my video. So if you scan that QR code on my background there, it will take you directly to the Lunch and Learn page on Ellie's website. And there's a section there where you can suggest topics. So if you do have any topics that you do want covered, feel free to submit your request there. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.